Well, hello, my good faithful YouTube viewers and listeners. It is the Jerry Bear. Today's date is Sunday, April 24th, 2022. I haven't done a daily rant in quite a while. Sunday video update was kind of interesting today. I was reporting some severe weather that came through, and we did get some rain and a few rumbles of thunder, but it wasn't as severe as it was in other places. Some places got large hail and strong wind gust. I think down in Lansing they had a strong wind gust upward of like 66, 67 miles per hour. It was really, really bad in some places, but here we just had some heavy rain, a few rumbles of thunder. That was it. Saginaw County was under a severe thunderstorm warning for a short time, but it was more from about the town of Chesaning and points to the east. So we were spared the rough stuff. And we were in a slight risk area for severe weather. I think that risk is going to gradually dwindle down as the sun goes down, as the night wears on. And behind this cold front that came through, they're talking colder temperatures. So by midweek, we're going to be in the mid-40s. I mean, it's going to drop off after just being in the 80s over the weekend. So we had a really active weekend, and I think things are just now starting to quiet down, and the sun's trying to peek through, and there might be a rainbow in the eastern sky. We had a few drops of rain a little while ago, and the sun's trying to peek through, but other than that, I'm doing okay. So the reason for this daily rant, and I haven't spoken about this particular individual for quite some time now, so Justina Banks, the troll account on Facebook, they're at it again, warning people about me. And, you know, this has gotten so incredibly, ridiculously old. And if, you know, I know this video is going to get shared on this Justina Banks' Facebook because it's about them. And they're doing everything they can in their power to convince people that I'm this horrible individual. Now, if this person, Justina Banks, well, let me first of all say that Justina Banks is not their real name. We know this already. And they stick to this fake name. It's not the real name. How do I know that? Because if, you know, in the case where you're slandering someone's name, you're not going to be using your real name. And the fact that I'm slandering this Justina Banks, that would mean that if they sue me for slandering them, they would have to come forward with their true identity and come at me with a lawsuit. So Justina Banks is a troll and a coward. They're not using their real name, because if they were really and truly Justina Banks, they would have subpoenaed me into court for slander and whatever else, because I've been talking about this Justina Banks for any number of months now. So we can attest that Justina Banks is not the real name on the account. So please reject the notion that if you think you're talking to a female, you very well might be, or if you are, the real name on the account is not Justina Banks. This is a person who has had a personal vendetta against me for any number of months, like I said. They just don't know when to stop. And they think they're doing a service by lying to people and embellishing and exaggerating on things that aren't true, saying I'm disgusting, and Jared did this and Jared said that. And by the way, they have not been able to demonstrate anything that they say. Now, they can tell you that I have been, casting vitriol at particular individuals, calling them out by name on my YouTube channel here, and they would be correct. They would be absolutely correct. But the thing is, I don't just randomly attack people. They give me a reason to call them out. And Justina Banks, time and time again, has given me reasons to call her out. And so tonight, on this last Sunday of April, here I am again calling out this obnoxious, dumb fuck troll who just does not know when to shut her cocksucker. So, Justina, I'm sorry that you are, you're just a low-life scumbag loser. You have no life. You have a lot of time on your hands. You've got nothing better to do with your time. You sit behind a computer 24 hours a day. You only wish you were me, and I feel bad for you. But, you know, you really got to get it together and stop with the bullshit. Because when you come up with the same alibis, the same lies, the same gossip, the same gimmicks. Eventually people tend to catch on and they understand that you are a fucking liar. You demonstrate that time and time again. And anybody who's smart enough when they read this, and if they're smart enough to say, well, you're telling me this, but you got to show some evidence to substantiate your claim, bravo to you. Bravo to you. I fucking commend you. You are an amazing individual. You use your head, you use common sense, and you always hold them to their word. If they're going to claim that I said or did something, you better expect to show some kind of evidence. Be prepared to make your case. Otherwise, sit down and shut the fuck up. And anybody who comes at Justina and says, show me some proof or go away, I commend you 150%. You're my kind of people, and thank you for using your brains. You get all my love and respect, and I'm just, this has gone on for far too long, and I've had enough. And I just can't deal with the constant nonstop drama and the gossip and the, oh, Jared says the F word. Jared talks profane language. Yeah, you're fucking right, I do. This is nothing new. I've always spoken like this, but when I'm on social media, I exercise a little restraint, and I try not to use F-bombs, and I try not to be, so forward and out there with profane language. I try to have some respect and some decorum on my Facebook, although I do say shit from time to time. I say the word fuck from time to time. I say the word bitch from time to time. Nobody bats an eye. Nobody cares. Because they use it just as much, if not more than I do. So no one's making a big deal about me swearing or using profane language. Everybody does. It's not a big deal. If you are a, pearl-clutching jackass, then I guess you would make a big deal about profane language. But most of the people that I'm associated with, they don't believe. They don't care. They don't care about the F word or anything like that. But in any event, I am really just, I'm fed up with this Justina Banks. I'm not broken, Justina. You think you broke me, but you really didn't. Because there's people that you're trying to convince of me being a bad person, and you're failing, actively failing. So, I'll give you effort for trying. You get an A for effort for trying. But, you're failing miserably otherwise. You get a big fat fucking F. Because you are a failure as an individual, as a human being. The fact that you would come up with a fake Facebook account just to smear my name to try to make me out to be a bad person, you're only making yourself look foolish. And I know that Justina Banks is not your true name, it's not your true identity, but you know who you are, and you have to live with this every single day of your life. You may not find remorse, you may not have a care in the world that you want to ruin someone's reputation or try to, slander someone's good name, but that's just too bad. That's just too bad. You have to live with your own actions. And people are seeing you for who and what you are more and more every fucking post. Okay? So, Justina Banks is a loser-ass troll, probably abuses their own kids, if they have kids, and if they don't have kids, they were probably taken away from them. Fuck off, Justina Banks. Seriously, just go fuck yourself into oblivion and leave people alone. You don't have to like me, and I don't care that you don't like me, but I'll be goddamned if you're going to sit here and make up shit about me to get back at me in retaliation for something that I did or said that you didn't agree with. Which, by the way, a lot of things that people say and do, it might hurt your feelings, but hurting your feelings is not against the law. So, there's that. Now, there's a second part to this I wanted to kind of touch on a little bit, and I do apologize if you can hear a dog barking in the background. It's my brother's dog. We've been dog sitting for about a week now. But the second part that I wanted to talk about was the fact that I have Justina Banks blocked on my Facebook, and it's awful funny to me. The person who was contacted, they had shown me a screenshot of this Justina Banks contacting them, and they got word that I publicly shared a post, And so that makes me think that I have a mole on my Facebook friends list. You know, they're going back and relaying what I post to this Justina Banks, or someone is watching them or watching my account from another, fake account, another Justina Banks-ish kind of an account, and they're, they don't block me because I don't know who they are. So obviously they're monitoring all of my public posts, and they're just waiting for that golden opportunity until such time as I publicly share a post about a cancer warrior, and then immediately, now we know the next person we need to go warn about this Jared Fuller guy. So either I have a mole on my Facebook friends list, and they're relaying information back to Justina Banks, or, which it might be an account that I'm just not aware of, and they're monitoring my public post on my Facebook page. So either way, I'm going to get to the bottom of it. I mean, those are the only two options. So what I'm not even going to give my game plan, because I do have a game plan set in place. So I'm not going to give that away, because if I do that, then I'm just telling the enemy where I am. I'm not going to do that. So, but I have a little plan set in place, and one way or the other, I'm going to find out. I'm going to get to the bottom of it. So, so Justina Banks, for those of you who are new to this channel, by the way, welcome to my channel. Yes, I swear on occasion. It's no big deal. But from time to time, I record these daily rant recordings because there are certain individuals that I'm going to call them out. I'm going to put them on public blast when they want to try and make my life a living hell. I'm not going to shut up about it. I'm not going to keep quiet about it. And this Justina Banks, that you probably, if you've taken the time to watch my Sunday video updates from start to finish, or listen to my daily rant recordings from start to finish, you'll know that the name Justina Banks frequently gets said between the two, between the audio recordings and the videos. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. Justina Banks has been a frequently used name on this channel because this person, whoever they are, they have this vendetta against me, which I'm not even sure why. I don't know what provoked this. I don't know what had angered this person, these people, whoever they are. I don't know what angered them so much to the point that they would try to destroy my name. They have engaged in slander and defamation of character. And yes, I have defamed and slandered Justina Banks in this daily rant, and I fully acknowledge that. Why? Because Justina Banks is not a real name. As I pointed out at the beginning of this daily rant recording, Justina Banks is not a real name. Because the thing is, if I try to sue them for slander or defamation of character, I'm chasing a made-up name. Justina Banks doesn't exist. That's a made-up name. And because of the fact that no one has ever pressed them on showing true identity of who they really and truly are, they want to show their neck and their chest, and they don't show their face. They try to disguise their voice. Well, I'm not disguising my voice. I'm not hiding my face. I'm not running, Justina Banks, whoever the fuck you are. I'm not running from you. I'm not hiding from you. You have been sitting on your lazy deadbeat ass for months, running your mouth. You've been, lying to everybody about me, scaring people into thinking something horrible about me. And, you're going to, sooner or later, you're going to own up to this. You're going to have to face the reality of what's coming to you. It may not be today, may not be tomorrow, may not be next week or next month or next year, but rest assured, one day, you're going to fucking get yours coming to you in some way. Now, when I say that, I'm not making a threat, but whoever this person is, sooner or later, they're going to have to answer to the public. Why is it that there's people out there who will just believe something coming from an account that does not show its true identity ever? You never see, a face, you never hear a voice, and if you do hear a voice, it's disguised. Why is it that you never see the true identity of this individual behind the Justina Banks account. I can tell you why. Because the minute they reveal their true identity, it's going to get back to me. I've got people watching that Justina Banks account. Oh yeah, whoever you are behind this Justina Banks account, I've got people watching you. And the second you put your picture up there, showing your face or your true identity or whatever the case may be, or if you get reported enough times by people who see the shit you're writing about me and they report you as being a fake account to the point where you have to show your identity, you're going to be in some deep trouble. Because once I find out who you are, chances are good I'm going to hire an attorney for slander and defamation, and I'm going to haul your ass into court. But the thing is, I'm not saying anything directly about the actual person because I don't know the actual person. Justina Banks is not a real person. That's a made-up name. And for some reason, that account is dedicated to trashing my name. It's solely dedicated to trashing my name. And I, for one, am sick and tired of dealing with the bullshit coming from this account. And I'm getting messages of screenshots. Oh, who's this Justina Banks? Justina Banks is a troll. Justina Banks is a fake account. They are fake. They're not who they claim to be. I highly doubt it's even a woman. I'm pretty sure it's a man. Goes by the name of Russ Boggs. I'm pretty sure, but I could be wrong. But only time will tell. I mean, if you get a picture of a neck or a chest or a face or anything, then I can pretty much tell. I mean, I've had a run-in with a guy already named Russ Boggs. He thought he was going to be sneaky and disguise himself, his voice, and hide his identity. But when he was looking into his phone, the glare of the phone reflected his face. So now I know it's Russ Boggs behind an account on Twitter, which, by the way, I'm not on Twitter anymore. But he goes under Jack L. Karstens on Twitter. And there you'll find Russ Boggs pretending to be Jack L. Karstens and slandering my name. And who knows how many other more accounts he has. So, you really got to be careful. You really got to be careful. And if any time they try to convince you that I've said something, done something, you have to demand evidence. You have to demand that they show evidence of the claim they're making. Because if they're going to go on record as saying that Jared said something inappropriate or, done something inappropriate, they are going to have to demonstrate that with proof. Now, if they come at you and say, well, Jared said some horrible things about someone, he attacks the parents in Daily Rant recordings, okay, I'm admitting to that. Yes, I have. And I still do. Because a lot of these people deserve it. If they're going to treat me like shit, and if they're going to believe stupid shit for no reason, I'm calling them out. And that's the name of the game. That's the way it works. The only thing I'm guilty of is defending myself when nobody else would. And that's it. And the only thing I'm ever guilty of is loving people and caring about people, trying to show people that I understand their situation and that I have no ill will, no nefarious intentions involved, that I have a personal, head-to-toe, inside and out understanding of childhood cancer. Nobody can shake me of that. They can't break me of that. So, Justina Banks, you're trying really super hard, but you're making yourself look like a douche nozzle. We're on to you. We're done with you. You can waste more time trying to convince people that I'm this horrible individual. I've had it with you. You're done. Period. So, I don't like to give this Justina Banks account too much attention because we want to smother this as best as we can. But eventually, sooner or later, we're going to find out the true identity of who this Justina Banks is, although I already have a pretty good idea of who it is. Because they fucked up once already by giving they gave themselves away when they were holding their phone up to their face and the glare of the phone reflected their face, and it's like, that's Russ Boggs. I know who it is. So, just a psychopathic loser. And I feel bad for his children. He's got 6 kids, and, he's just a horrible person. He's awful. He's God-fearing, but he's a nut job. He's a fucking space case. And, it's not to make any, crass remarks or attacks at people with mental health issues, but this guy is really out there. And he will not stop. He is relentless, and he thinks he's doing a service by making shit up and lying to people and trying to embellish and blow it up into something bigger than what it actually is. Come on, man. Just like the poems, it's like I've been writing poetry for well over 30 years. I've been writing since I was a kid. I have learned along the way. I have learned words. I understand meanings. I've been writing journals for the past 20, going on 23 years. I was writing poetry before I started writing journals. I've been writing my entire life. I know how to write a poem about someone, for someone, to someone. I know I have the craft, I have the knowledge, I have the wherewithal to know how to exercise my motor skills effectively. And when you have people like this Justina Banks, which is not a real account, coming up here saying, well, he's disgusting, he's this, he's that, you know what? Go away. Go get a life. Instead of investing all of your time trying to make me look like a bad guy, which, by the way, Justina, whoever you are, you're losing, laughably losing. Go and do something productive with your life. Stop wasting so much time trying to ruin my life and filling everybody else's head with a bunch of crap. Because I'm telling you, it's just not going to work. You're losing, Justina. You're losing. Whoever the fuck you are, you're losing. And you're losing miserably, laughably. So if you're new to this channel, welcome. If Justina Banks tries to convince you of me being this horrible, awful individual, just, tell him to show some proof or go away. There's no warrants for my arrest. I don't have a criminal background. I've never been in jail or prison. I'm not under investigation. I've never been subpoenaed into court. I don't even have a speeding ticket. I don't have a parking ticket, for crying out loud. I mean, some people really have too much time on their hands. They have nothing better to do. And they take this one Facebook account and they have been using it for well over a year now, trying to smear my name, trying to make me look like this horrible person. Justina, we want to know what you look like. Please show us a picture of your face. Show us a picture of your face. Not your neck, not your chest, your face. No masks, nothing. Your face, uncovered. We want to see what you look like. And I bet anybody with a brain, with a conscience, is going to wonder the same thing. Why don't we see Justina Banks? Why don't we see the true identity of this individual? If it was true, they wouldn't be hiding their face. I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, I don't hide my face ever on this channel. Every Sunday I go, well, or most every Sunday, I go live on YouTube. I record videos all the time. I don't hide my identity. I have no reason to hide my identity. I have nothing to hide. Unlike Justina Banks, because only people who lie always have something to hide. Always. And this Justina Banks is not to be trusted. So if any of you listening to this have Facebook, and if you're a member of the childhood cancer demographic, and you are encountered by this Justina Banks twat, whoever it is, tell her to take a flying fuck. He, she, whoever it is, tell him to just fuck off into oblivion, go away, unless you have some kind of credible evidence to present to make your case. Just go away, disappear. And in fact, ladies and gentlemen, those of you listening to this, if you have a run-in with a Justina Banks, you need to report this account to Facebook. Report it as a fake account. Don't slip it under the rug, hoping it'll go away. Report it to Facebook. I mean, it's gotten entirely out of hand. And, to the people who have run-ins with this Justina Banks and they're, trying to convince you, this Justina Banks trying to convince you of something horrible about me, please reject the notion. Obviously, I'm in my bedroom. I have never been in jail. Never been in prison. Don't have a criminal background. I just wish people were more vigilant and more, use logic and common sense. if it doesn't make sense, it's probably not true to begin with. So I wanted to once again thank you all for taking the time to listen to the Sunday video update. I haven't been here for very long. I'll be back again with some more content. I hope you're subscribed. I go live on YouTube every Sunday at 3 o'clock Eastern Time. You have to be a subscriber in order to be an active chat log person. You have to be subscribed for more than 5 minutes. And then you can leave comments in the chat logs when I go live every Sunday at 3 o'clock Eastern. If you are a good person with good intentions, I'd love to have you in there. But if you're going to come into my chat log being a douche nozzle, your ass will be kicked out. So, to put that out there, I'm going to end it on that note. Thank you all very much for listening. My name is Jared Fuller, a.k.a. the Jer Bear. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, toodaloo!